Alright, so in this video, I'm basically going to show you how to use the definition of MSP to build a winning real estate business from your house. So basically remote as well. These are the same foundations that we've used to actually build our own company, Somewhere Online, to helping hundreds of agents online basically grow the real estate business the same way. So we use it for our company, but also our agents used it for their own real estate business. So without further ado, my name is Sam Spijkerman. I'm the founder and CEO of Somewhere Online, and we've basically helped hundreds of agents scale their real estate business through a combination of social media and database reactivation, basically like the same way. The video that you're about to watch, it's basically one of our weekly meetings with a bunch of our agents. So it's basically a fragment from a couple months ago. So that's why I look a little different as well there. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into the video. So yeah, today I'm just going to talk about marketing, sales, and product and why it's so important. So this is just like a main principle that we've used to scale our business and that we've also used for other brokerages that we've worked with and teams to scale their business as well. It's basically like a main principle. And it's also, we think it's valid in any industry. I'm just going to talk about that first. So marketing, sales, product, how it works is first you want to focus on your marketing, then you're on your sales, and then you're on your product, and then you basically go on site, right? For real estate, it's mostly, so M1, that you would say like marketing in the first cycle, which is getting organic deals done. So through cold calling, through your sphere, through referrals, door knocking, etc. And in the S1, you close your first deal, and your organic method in M1 works and is now proven and validated. And then in B1, you want to work on your product and fulfill clients better, right? And maybe improve your product and service. Then the thing is that we want to get to the second cycle, right? So once you've worked on marketing, sales, and product, then you want to go over again. And that's how you scale. So sad reality is that most agents don't make it through the second cycle. They usually focus just on referrals. And what we see happens and why I talk about this is because some businesses, and what I've seen is that they focus on the wrong thing, wrong order, and getting nothing done due to perfectionism. I've had this myself as well. Like I've had other businesses before this, and I always used to focus on the wrong stuff, like getting the best logo possible, having a nice font on my website. And then I just noticed that it's just going to consume a lot of time, and I'm not spending time on the things that's actually going to move the needle forward. So the second cycle for real estate, like how you could see it, is M2 is paid ads to get more leads. Is basically what we're doing, because you probably are all already had some deals done before you joined us. And then in S2, we want to learn how to convert. And this is what we also speak about in our course area. I think it's module 4. And we really go in depth on this as well. And then on P2, you want to focus on fulfilling your clients better, up your branding, and invest in assets that make your product better, since you now have the resource to do so. So that's why, I've had a few businesses before, but they all failed because I just focused on the wrong things and it was never really moving the needle forward. And then once that's done, you want to go over it again. So then we get to M3, S3, and P3. So yeah, once the second cycle is validated, once you've gotten a lot more clients, more marketing budget stuff, you can now move up. You can now, for example, up the ad spend, double it. So if you know that over 12 months time frame, you get, let's say, a 50K GCI from all of your ad, and you spend around 4K. Well, if you double it, you could expect 100K in GCI over the next 12 months, right? And then that's how you basically scale up. And that's what we've done as well with brokerages. Then in S3, you come there again to the sales. So this is an example of bringing on a sales team. We've done this as well. So we have an outbound sales team. A fun fact, before we brought that on, I sent out, I think it was 1,800 audits via video before I actually hired a sales team. Or you can bring in an assistant that handles this for other agents by creating it. What I usually see happening is that agents hire like a buyer's agent that also serves like an admin. And then what the agent does, like team lead, you would say, you just co-list other listings with that buyer's agent, or they just give them buyers, right, in order to pay for that admin, which is a good alternative. And before you can actually do this, you need to be able to convert stuff yourself before you can actually outsource it. So that's why we always say, like, hey, first get a few deals under your belt from our system and then try to outsource it. So that's the whole reason behind it as well, because now someone else can come in, see how you've done it, and implement it themselves and do it for you. And that's exactly what we've done as well with our business. And then in P3, you can fulfill your clients even better, because you can now have a full-time content team, a video crew that does your entire marketing or just follows you around as well, for just you and your business. So again, the leads are just a supplement to your business. These will convert. Sometimes they just reach you in the very beginning of their buying and selling process. A big advantage of this is that there's no competition, because they're still in the beginning of their process. So it may take longer to convert them. And in the first couple of months, you may not have as much traction. That's why we work with you for so long. So the end goal is really to get more closings through leads and later on maximizing back-end referrals by staying in touch with those past clients to grow your sphere. An example of how you could maximize those back-end referrals by sending email blasts to those people, for example, like I mentioned it, like making it a little bit personalized, sending text blasts, staying in touch in a more efficient way as well. So some key points about this quick thing that I had set up. So yeah, you want to always look at marketing first, then work on your sales, and finally the product. The thing is you don't have to completely neglect your product or your service. Just make sure that in the beginning you have good enough service product that actually works and get your client their dream homes, his current home sold for the best price possible, right? I just mentioned this because sometimes I also forget about this cycle and then I see that the business goes downhill. So I always try to have this in my mind. And I think it really helps as well for real estate agents. So the biggest mistake that agents make, which I've seen, is that they focus on the wrong things and go into MSP in the wrong order. So they start focusing on their branding first instead of actually focusing on talking with more people, which is what we're trying to do here. So an additional tip for today, test if S2 is not working out. So S2 was basically converting the leads that we get for you. An example of this could be testing out calling everyone that comes in right when they come in. You could test out keeping everything on text. You could test how people respond to your text messages, then call them right away. But I would always heavily test this before you want to put it all into one basket, all your eggs into one basket. So if you see that calling is working best for you, then of course focus on that. But if it's not working for you and you've done, let's say 100 of them, then I would focus on SMS, for example, and see how that goes. So just a little quote for today from a book that I've read. It's called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. So it's a pretty cool book. It's not as harsh as it sounds, but here's a little quote that I read from today. Improvement in anything is based on thousands of tiny failures, and that the magnitude of your success is based on how many times you failed at something. If something is better than you at something, then it's likely because she has failed at it more than you have. So if someone is worse than you, it's likely because she hasn't been through all of the painful learning experience you have. If you think about a young child trying to learn to walk, that child will fall down and hurt itself hundreds of times, but at no point does the child ever stop and think, oh, I guess walking just isn't for me. I'm not good at it. So that's just a little example of testing that out. And you really got to feel like, of course, we give like these different methods as well and explain these process and principles just so we can see, okay, well, what is going to work best for you, so we can have a customized approach. And that's it.